Broncos, Chiefs, Week 6, Thursday night. Let's get it.
Welcome to FaZe Fantasy Live with your host, Lonnie Z.
What's going on, everybody? It's Lonnie Z, and this is FaZe Fantasy Live. I am joined by Jake Hansen. What's going on, Jake? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. How you doing, Lonnie?
I'm good, man. I'm good. We're here tonight to talk about tomorrow's game between the Broncos and the Chiefs on Thursday night. Now, I'm looking at something right here, and it says this matchup, the Broncos have a 15% chance to win this game.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And that sounds about right because the Broncos have really been horrible this year. They've really been horrible. Their defense is just, it hemorrhages every single game. There's big plays against them. I mean, they had that historic bad game against the Dolphins. And so they just can't get out of their own way. Russell Wilson, though, man, he's looking pretty good. He has over 1,200 yards passing already with 11 touchdowns and, only 2 INTs. That's not bad at all. And Patrick Mahomes on the Chiefs side, he doesn't really look like Patrick Mahomes too much. I mean, when you take away those weapons and when Kelsey's not 100% all year, he's only got 1,287 yards passing with 10 touchdowns and 4 INTs. So Wilson's actually having a better season, than Mahomes. But Mahomes has his team at 4-1, and they're out there doing it. Pacheco has been the thing, though. That's been, I know you mentioned Pacheco the other day, but he's really been getting some steam going and looking like a true RB1. He's been doing really been getting out there, and he has 325 yards rushing with 3 touchdowns on 71 carries. But he's really been looking better and better as the season progresses. And then Kelsey, he's been up and down with injuries, but he's, 222 yards, 3 touchdowns. That seems subpar for Kelsey, but it's because he's just been injured and he's questionable for tomorrow night's game, but they expect him to play. You're saying that they expect him to play. And then there's Marvin Mims Jr. on the Broncos side, 10 receptions, 246 yards and a touchdown. He leads their team in receiving yards. And that's crazy. Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton. I mean, he only has 10 receptions and he leads. This is week 6. That's kind of crazy, right? Yeah. So, and then this is the crazier thing. Jaleel McLaughlin has 22 carries, 160 yards, and he leads the team in rushing.
Crazy.
And this is week 6. He's only been in 1.5 games. He came in when Williams got hurt in one game, and then he had a full game. Bro, I don't understand what Sean Payton's offense is. Usually we're used to Sean Payton having a really dynamic offense, creative. Maybe he's just getting old. What's your take on this game?
First thought is, Chiefs will probably dominate. It's at home for Kansas City. I think Denver just needs to stay close. Like you said, Russell Wilson has been playing good every game. He's been averaging 20 points a game for fantasy, and the Chiefs, they haven't really blown anybody out too much yet. They haven't really. What was it? Chicago? That's a little different, but they haven't looked too sharp yet, and just stay close. That's all I'm asking for Denver. Stay close. Make it to the third quarter. At least third quarter. Make it to that, and just to make it close, because their offense, like you said, their offense is scoring. They do have a lot of chances. They have good receivers. I read that they are going to split carries between McLaughlin and Williams. They're going to just keep that going as they have been. And the Chiefs, like you said, Pacheco, they finally found their a little niche. They know that Pacheco's been showing them stuff lately, so they're finally realizing it. And then, like you said yesterday, Rice, he's we'll see if they're going to keep using him heavy too. So, and Kelsey, we'll see how his ankle is. They just said that he was limited today and he will play tomorrow, but it could get ugly. But that's what I was saying. Just hopefully Denver gives them a game, just a little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah, I kinda think that Denver is gonna get blown out, if I'm just being honest. And Pacheco, he'll probably have a lot of yards, in this game, and so, yeah, I think Denver is gonna really have a tough time. I hope it is a good game.
I'm just hoping on division wise, division game. Because we always say division games.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, it might be because Denver, Kansas City, it should be a competitive game. So from a fantasy perspective, you really can play Russell Wilson tomorrow if you have him as your quarterback or you're streaming on FanDuel or
Hmm.
something in a Thursday night set. You can play Russell Wilson. You can play obviously Patrick Mahomes. Isaiah
Yeah.
Pacheco is a great play in this game. I mean, he may be RB1 for week 6 after this game
Hmm.
based on what the Broncos defense has given up to running backs lately. And then Jaleel McLaughlin, um, that's the tricky play between Javonta and Jaleel
Hmm.
because we don't know if they're just going to split carries or what. But Javonta Williams is going to play,
Yeah.
so. But I think the bigger hitter so far this year has been McLaughlin. He's
Yeah.
he's got the more home run ability so far,
Hmm.
and I think Williams is still, he's just recovering off of that torn up knee from last year, and maybe next year he'll be more dynamic because
Hmm.
usually the year right after you don't even have as much success as he's had so far. He's looked really good. He just hasn't got a lot of yards. I think that whole offense doesn't look too good though. So, I don't really blame him too much for that, but he has lost a step, it seems like. And, from the receiver side, obviously, you're going to run Kelsey out there, even gimped up. He's going to probably get in the end zone, I would imagine.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't know. Maybe Rasheed Rice. I don't know. I don't know if I'd play him this week. I don't know if I'd have him in a fantasy lineup this week. And Marvin Mims, that's only if you're desperate. I mean, he really could get a big play against his defense, though.
Hmm.
So if you're building a lineup on FanDuel and you need a cheap, receiver, maybe Mims, you can throw him in there and just hope, he's a touchdown dependent guy, 100%. Right. If he's in the $5,000 range, then that's what you're going to get. And he has a high ceiling, but he also has a low floor too. He can get nothing too.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah. It's just hard. It's just hard because every team's been scoring on Chicago, so it's a big fantasy day for that team. But with the Chiefs, like you said, Kelsey, Pacheco, Mahomes, it's hard to pick another guy. It's hard to pick one of those receivers because you just don't know. You just don't you don't know which one's going to go off. You think that a Rice would go off against this team, but it's just they're really they're unpredictable right now. The Chiefs' offense is you just don't know who they're going to go. They're going to score, but you just don't know who they're going to go to.
yeah. And you meant Denver, right?
The Chiefs against
Yeah,
Denver.
you said Chicago. I just
Oh,
want to make sure.
well, I was just
Not unless you were
yeah.
referring to the last time
Denver.
the Chiefs played Chicago. I just wasn't sure.
Well, the last time they played Chicago, they went off, but I mean that was the only time that they have went. That they looked dominant was when they played Chicago. But now it's just hard to. They just have the big three: Pacheco, Kelsey, and Mahomes.
Yeah, and everyone has been scoring on Denver too,
Yeah,
like
yeah. That's what I meant.
crazy.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
crazy.
that's what I meant. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, and so you're right though. Those are the only 3 you really can run out there and be like, "Okay, I could probably get 20 points or 16 points," depending on.
Hmm.
And on the other side, I don't know. I don't know if I'm really playing any Broncos unless I have to play Russell Wilson. He's been consistent. You were saying he had at least 20 points in every game except for this week 5 when he had 19. 19 fans. So
19.
he's
He had
right at that
19.
20 consistently. And that's what you're looking for when you play fantasy football. You just want to get as many consistent guys in your lineup as possible. I mean, I'd rather have a guy that I can count
Mhm,
on for 12 to 17 points every game because I know when I put him in there, I'll get at least that from him. And so, and that's how when I build my lineups, that's what
mhm,
I try to do. I try to level it like, okay, my quarterback, I need at least 20 to the ceiling. You know what I'm saying? 20 to whatever, 20
right.
plus. Running back, I'd like to have my RB1 20 plus. My RB2, if I have, between 14 and 20, that's, I feel good about that RB2. And the same, it just goes down the line. Receivers, same way, receiver one, wide receiver one. Most people have two wide receiver ones on their team. But yeah, so consistency, man, that's the key. That's the key. And tomorrow night, I think that the Chiefs are just I think they're gonna roll Denver. And I'm not even gonna say I'd be surprised if the Chiefs lost because I would be surprised if the Chiefs lose. I'm not gonna say, "Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if
Oh,
they
yeah,
lost."
for
No, I
sure.
would be.
No, no, no.
So,
Yeah, for sure.
and this is in
For
Kansas
sure.
City, and I don't know, man. I don't even know what to put a number on this game. The Chiefs just don't look the same either offensively, so they win. I think they win handily. I think they cover their spread, whatever the spread is. I think that they're gonna cover it. Well, what do you think?
No, I agree with you. I think the Chiefs are gonna win, and they're gonna win handily. I just wanted Denver to at least make it to the 3rd quarter, just to make it a game because lately it's been hard to watch. Sunday night's game, even Monday night's game was rough, and it's just you know what I mean? Make it a game, even when Detroit played. What was last week's Thursday night game?
Last week was the Bears and Washington, and that's when
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, and that was a route. Yeah, that was a ugly one too. So that's what I mean. Just make it a game. That's all I'm asking. Denver stay close, but they don't have the Chiefs are going to handle them, of course, especially in Kansas City.
there's really not much to say about this game. I think we covered everything. Injury from on the injury front, the only thing that you really needed to know was that Kelsey is going to play. He's a little gimped up, and that Javonte Williams is going to play too. So
They're
if
going
you
to play.
have
Mhm.
Jaleel McLaughlin, you keep that in mind that they're both going to be out there. Other than that, everyone's pretty
Right.
healthy and they're just all going at it, you know. Um,
Yep.
and we'll see. You did say, it is an interdivision game. They're in the same division, that AFC West. So we'll see how they do. It could be a
Hmm.
tougher game than we think. I hope it is, man. I hope it's competitive.
I hope so too. I hope it's a little
Yeah.
closer.
You got anything else you want to touch on before we wrap this thing up? This was kind of short and sweet. There wasn't much to cover in this game.
There is one thing. If you listened to us yesterday, we're talking about the waiver wire and all that, and Amari DeMarcado is going to play for the Cardinals. Start, but they just came out with their depth chart, and I guess it's going to be Keontae Ingram. Doesn't mean he's going to start, but they put him up there on the number one running back today, and they haven't said if he's starting or not. But just keep and just keep looking at that and see if anything changes there.
Well, yeah, Ingram, he played for them in some spot starts last year, and he did a good job. So I wouldn't be surprised if they run him out there because you and I both said that DeMarcado does not look explosive at all. He looks, he looks like he's a little bit n- not ready for the NFL, and that's
Hmm.
no slight on him because he's obviously in the NFL. But he didn't look like, what I'm accustomed to seeing from an NFL running back. Even though he did
Right.
get in the end zone, I mean, man, he got the job done for what he needed to do, but he just doesn't have that explosiveness, and I'm not surprised that they're turning to Ingram. And like you said, we're not sure. So make sure you check those starting lineups. If you have DeMarcado, if you went out and got him off the waiver wire, you might want to check it out and see what their plan is. And we'll keep you updated too on that before Sunday's games. We'll have all that information for you. So just keep tuned to Phase Fantasy Live and we'll make sure that you're updated on everything. All right, man. Well, I guess that's it. Kind of uneventful. We both like the Chiefs. That's a
Yep.
captain obvious, right? But
Yep.
some games are just like that. Well, thanks for listening. Hope you got something out of this. I'm Lonnie. He is Jake, and we will catch you on the next one.